Hey, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. But if you're new, anything that you need to know about the channel of any relevance, you can find in the description box. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Like, subscribe, share, do all that cool stuff to get good karma. And if you want to enter into winning a free psychic reading with me, all you need to do is do those three things anyway. Like, subscribe, and share if you want. You don't have to share because, again, some people can be touchy about sharing, especially if they don't want it. But what you can do is write the word love in your comment bar. Now, at the Psychic Soul Healer channel, what we do here is we transmute spiritual wounds and we turn them into spiritual gifts. That's right, we do. And how do we do that? By looking at our shadows, by looking at the parts of ourselves that we disconnected from. And how do we do that? Well, we look at your situation. We look at your situation in your relationships. We look at your situation within work. And again, you're then able to see what psychological and spiritual, psychological and spiritual are very similar, almost the same, and your emotional energy that's blocking you from whether it's good health, a lot of wealth, or all around emotional fulfillment, meaning your love life. Because when we have spiritual blocks that, again, keep us in limitation, then we are out of alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love, and the laws of nature. So we have to be in alignment with the universe. And the way to do that is by being in a state of unconditional love, right? So we wouldn't even know what that looks like, to be honest with you, unless we had certain people come into our lives. Soulmate, soul family, twin flame, past life, even a trauma bond. When you first meet them, there's this unconditional love. It's a familiarity. The person feels like home. They feel comfortable. And so we strive to understand what unconditional love is so that we can become it. And we wouldn't offer to do this when we get triggered, right? When you get triggered, you get angry. When you get triggered, it's because, again, there's something out of alignment. You're holding on to like a core belief due to a situation or experience that you've lived. And many times when we get a soulmate, twin flame, past life person, they tend to have similar behaviorisms that people did that used to trigger us. They can bring out triggers within us, even if they don't remind us of someone. It is possible, though, a lot of times that they do remind us of a mother or a father. They tend to like do something that irritates us. It gets underneath our skin to try to trigger us to look at the wound. Because no one can make us feel uncomfortable. We actually allow ourselves to feel uncomfortable because of, again, the experiences that we've gone through that we haven't really learned from. They've become part of us, and they've become part of us where we hold on to shame or guilt or victimization or betrayal or any lower energy, even jealousy, again, anything that makes us stuck in fear is not of God, right? So it's not of love, because God is only love. God is the same universe energy as the universe. It's that vibration and that energy that we have inside of us. It's what connects us to each other. It's felt as sensitivity or empathy. I don't really need to know you to empathize with you. It's, again, because our hearts are all connected, because we all feel the same things. We've experienced the same feelings and emotions, not because of the same situations. However, again, we can still form the same wounds, which a lot of times your soulmate, twin flame, and past life partner or if even a soul family has the same wounds. This is why they feel like home. That's why they do identify. So let's look at some questions. I have this little mini deck here that I wanted to like pull a few questions just instead of coming up with my own. What shared karma or past life is affecting this relationship or connection? I like that question because we're talking about that. We were just talking about that. So again, when things are in alignment, they just kind of fall in place. That's how you know things are easy. When again, it's when you're in the flow of the universe, right? It's just things are easy. What would this person tell me if they could be open and honest about their thoughts and feelings? All right. So we're just going to focus on those two questions right now. Okay. So I'm going to pull from my Psychic Soul Healer deck. By the way, if anyone's interested in purchasing a Psychic Soul Healer deck, you can find the link for it underneath the welcome video, or you can go to my website and there you can find all my products, and you can actually find it in my merchandise link down below. Now, this deck comes with an oracle book, and as I said, the oracle book has a lot of different healing techniques in it and exercises, but it also teaches you how to do your own psychic readings, and it helps you deepen your meditation and reflection practices. I also wanted to share at this time that I have launched my Christian Metaphysical online course, and it's all about it covers three things. It covers healing trauma, mindfulness, mastering mindfulness, and psychic development. So if you're a highly sensitive person, it goes into all the different psychic abilities that come with being a highly sensitive person. I think that I put down at least 11 different psychic abilities. And so you can teach yourself. Now understand, when you heal your wounds, as I said, they turn to spiritual gifts. And some of those gifts are to expand consciousness, where you're able to, again, to raise your vibration enough to have enhanced intuition, to be able to ESP, again, which is enhanced intuition, or psychometry, or any one of the psychic abilities. There's a lot of the mediumship. Again, when we enter into this new world, which we're in the process of entering into, everyone's going to have psychic abilities. Everyone's going to, again, be able to read energy, because the world is evolving. So it's a, it's a very, it's a crazy time, but it's an exciting time too, because again, it's times of change. It's just sometimes change looks ugly a lot of times in the beginning, because if something's broken and something's been broken for a long time, just because you're like, okay, now I'm ready to fix it, it's like, remember, it's been broken a long time. Everything that was covered up, or anything that was, manipulated or whatever to make the system work, is now crumbling. And that includes ourselves, because you can't shoot an email around the world but not know how to make money, or know why you're actually here, or feel like you're not deserving of love. All those things are out of alignment with why, the real reason of why you're here. So again, we wouldn't volunteer to learn anything, because it's, again, most of us, all of us, learn through pain and suffering. Unfortunately, is, again, a lot of times when we get away with things and there's no consequence, we tend to forget. We tend to not take it as serious. So it's, again, looking at the shared karma. Stuck. So I think that's more like stuck in a thought pattern, the way that you think, right? It's again, it's if you've gone through an experience that was traumatic to you, then there's a lot of fear. So what keeps us stuck? The unknown, going into the unknown, not really being happy in the past, not being content in the past, but being terrified of the future. Because if we don't know who we are and there's no destination of what we want to do or what we're creating or why we're the bigger purpose to life. And the bigger purpose is has nothing to do with who you marry or your actual job. It's again why you're here, and that's to become of love. So you have to become love. And so yes, if you're lucky enough, you can do that through your job. But if you can't, you have to still become it through things which you love to do. Because that when we're stuck and we don't know, we're not just going to randomly move ourselves. What moves us is again passion, love. Love is what moves us. Otherwise, we stay stuck in fear. It's again, and really because I think that again, your person is around people that are cruel. So they would tell you again, and so the shared karma is not having control over one's life, not feeling as one has control over one's life. And this happens a lot of times when we are an empath and we get close to people, we can feel what they want and then kind of do what they want instead of what we want. And that's bad because then we're abandoning ourselves. And then whenever we're trying to put energy towards what we're trying to grow, it's not going to manifest because you didn't put enough energy into it. So when you're manifesting, you really have to put all your time and energy towards that, towards what you're manifesting, because number one, you don't want to stay stuck. You want to be able to move, and you wouldn't necessarily move on your own. What moves you is, again, your intuition. You're living your bliss. Living your bliss is, again, you're letting your intuition guide you, which, again, is not just through your gut, but through your heart. Again, doing what you love. This person is out of alignment. They don't think from this state. They live in a survival mode. And they live in survival mode because, again, they were raised by someone that was cruel. And then they get into relationships that are cruel. And I know that because they need to clear family karma, and you need to clear family karma. I feel like you're not in a relationship, but your past relationships, again, the people were not nice. And that could be through lying, not committing, again, ghosting, breadcrumbing, treating you like you were less than, again, not treating you as what you're worth. So again, staying stuck. So this person's stuck in a bad relationship because they're connected to somebody that they don't really want to be with. And if they're not, then they're by themselves, again, still with the memory of that relationship where they're stuck because they're cruel. This is how it's affecting your relationship. And again, you also are stuck because afraid of the unknown and that this person is not really showing you anything. So when we're clearing family karma, what we need to do is we need to clear all programs of where we feel that we're not worthy. Also, where we don't have our own life, where, your person, if your person is stuck, and when your person is stuck and has no direction, it's very easy then for someone to come in and dictate what they should do. They're going to be more willing to listen to someone else because at this point they don't trust who they are because they're stuck, and they're stuck because they're basing everything on a past relationship or a connection that they're still in but there's no intimacy, that they're just kind of stuck there because they are afraid of the unknown. And so again, that means that they've made a lot of wrong choices within their relationships in the past. So again, the similarity is that two people both have the same wound of trust issues. But those trust issues happen growing up in their family. Let me show you that so it's better, right? So that's when that happened. Permissive. So they also tend to act like they don't care. Their pride, their ego doesn't feel good to not know where you're going in life, or to not feel like you have an identity. Remember, when we have wounds from family and that we grow up, unless those wounds have been transmuted, they've been collecting karmic residue from other situations that hold the same karmic theme. So it's, again, this is why our past tends to look a lot like our future. Our future looks a lot like our past. Like, a lot of times you can't tell the difference. Maybe just change of characters, change of scenarios, but again, the theme stays the same. We feel the same. We feel stuck in limitation. We're not seeing anything different. But why? Stuck in paralyzed, fight, flight, or freeze, because again, I was around someone cruel that made me not trust. But instead I come across like I don't really care, because it's easier. Because it's easier now. Like, if this is your person, they wouldn't let you get that close to them. Elitist, yeah, which again, they want to, the permissiveness, it makes it like, again, like there's nothing wrong. That because they want to be viewed. So really, the fear and why they're stuck, in my opinion, is because they don't want anyone to see them for who they truly are. They would rather stay connected to this energy because they don't know what the future holds, which is, again, what happened to their family when they were growing up. Maybe their mother stayed in a bad, toxic relationship, or the father stayed with somebody. It's, again, and so that traumatized them, where they were the fixer, they were the helper, they were the doer, and they got love that way. But they're not really being fulfilled, because that's not, I mean, you do get love from that, but that's not the unconditional love that we're seeking. Unconditional love doesn't mean that we have to do stuff in order to get love back. So again, this elitist is, again, this energy of, I want to appear as if I have it all together. So again, maybe they're in this karmic relationship. From the outside, it looks like everything is good, but really from the inside, nothing's good. And they stay in that because they don't really know what's going to happen between you and them. So they kind of stay stuck in fear, but they're not coming from where they are now. They're looking at this relationship through, like, again, their relationship. I just did a similar reading for this before, for another zodiac. And I feel like this happens during retrograde a lot of times, where we, again, things that aren't working tend to, again, rear their ugly head. It's when we have wounds, they come out the most during retrograde. Again, just the same way as, like, you'll have a power out. Let's just say you turn on the computer and you feel like you shorted the computer. Well, you are electrical. Your nervous system, right, creates electricity. And so when we have anxiety, when we're nervous, it affects our nervous system. And when we're interacting with other technical things that hold electricity, that will, again, it affects it. but technically it's really you that is creating again the imbalance, because the universe, even whether it goes backwards or forwards, it's still in alignment. It's always should be the same. It's just when it's going backwards, there is a like an energetic shift that you can feel maybe a little bit tired, you can feel a little bit slow, but your whole life doesn't mess up. You don't all of a sudden have 1,000 miscommunications. If you're not good at expressing yourself to begin with, well, that's when it's going to come out. If you again are imbalanced in an area, it's going to come out and become more prominent during retrograde. That is what I have noticed. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out this connection. I've never experienced anything like it before. So again, this is a past life connection, and it's a deep connection. But again, it's not an easy connection, because this person would most likely want to stay where they are, because it would be easier. However, the unconditional love that a past life karmic connection has a lot, especially if it's a soulmate twin flame. So believe me, they would rather stay in where they are, again, fearful, but they're living out of alignment the way that they are. They're undervaluing themselves. They're afraid to move. It's like, even though it's uncomfortable, at least I know what it is what I'm feeling. Okay, so this card dropped down and I want to read it. I wish I could stay, but I really feel someday I will. But right now, I'm afraid to be myself. So like I said, and the reason why is because were in an environment with people that were not nice to them. So they don't trust who they are. They don't like who they are. They don't believe in themselves. So even though they have this strong connection, to take a chance on it is, they're afraid. So again, being able to speak their truth, being able to ask for what they need, and not being afraid to do so. But remember, that wound didn't originate with this relationship. This wound originated for them, how they grew up. One of us is sad or angry and is creating an energetic match and frequency with the other. Stay conscious of this, and if possible, try to help elevate it. So again, you're very connected to your soulmate twin flame. Or again, this connection. Don't know if it's a full soulmate twin flame yet. I'm assuming, because again, clear family karma, and when it's family karma, that's deep-seated wounds. Especially if you're 40, 50 years old, 30, 40, 50 years old, you've been walking around with these wounds for 30, 40, 50 years. So again, they really have become part of us. We base our reality on those perceptions. And if it's out of balance, eventually our reality of what we perceive our life is going to crumble, which is what is happening with your person, because they're trying to mentally and physically stay in a place that they don't want to be in. So number one, they're embarrassed because they don't want to be there, and but it's again, and two, they don't really know who they are. Three, they would have to be vulnerable with you. So on all levels, it's activating a lot of different wounds at one time. So which I feel like then they like freeze. I see that I have a little tickle in my throat. I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you for good. Because there's a sense of that they know the depth of this relationship and they know what they should do, but they're frozen. So what are they going to do? Because that's a very natural way to feel. Again, especially if you were with someone for a long time, you've accumulated possessions, you might have children, you might have, again, um, shared a lot of different things. And there's also a lot of different emotions that come with separating from someone that you've been with for a long time. Just this relationship that they're in, they're not happy. The person's mean, the person doesn't trust them anymore. But again, when the intimacy is out of a relationship and one person isn't getting what they need, they do become cruel, they do become mean, because they're taking it as a reflection of them. Remember, if they've been given 100%, they feel abandoned by your person, so they're not nice, because if your person is thinking about you, they're not thinking about them, and they can definitely feel that. So there's a sense of your person's not doing anything. And so it might look like they're waiting for this person to flip out and just, again, pull the plug on the relationship so that they can come forward. But it's like they're just frozen. They don't know what to do. But eventually, the person that they're with is going to, again, pull the plug on the relationship that they have with them. And maybe not to stay away, but maybe to see what is going on, is what I'm feeling. It's like, because they're like, well, if you're not here with me emotionally, there's someone else. You may say that there's nobody else, but I can feel that there's someone else, which, understand, is probably how they've stayed in this relationship with this person for as long as they have, because they have a lot of responsibilities with them, and then they chase everyone away, and your person just forfeits. So you might have grown up with somebody, again, that didn't get up and take their life. Maybe they felt that they needed to be rescued. Maybe you feel that you need to be rescued, when really you don't need to be rescued. You need to, again, create yourself. Again, the passion is what gets you out of a situation, but it shouldn't be counterfeit passion. It should be a passion that you have for your own life. Perfectionist. It's okay to make mistakes. Yeah, like, I feel like your person, like, just tried to be perfect in the situation, and for too long, and nothing was ever good enough, because there's no real love, there's no real passion in this relationship. So you can do everything, but if it goes unappreciative, because the person that they're with wants them to be actually in a relationship with them, instead of doing things for them. Let's see, flighty. This one flipped over, and this one defensiveness. Well, I feel like, again, the flighty energy is, they, again, give up too soon. Like, it's like they don't try enough. A lot of the connection that they have with you is in the 3D. One day I'll come back. I know I'll fix it eventually. Well, they're not putting any real effort into it. And then, when anyone asks them, hey, what the hell are you doing? Because you're not really in a relationship with the person that you're with. And the person that you're with it's very obvious that they're not happy. What are you doing? They get defensive, because they're not telling anyone about you. They're not telling anyone about anything. They're just kind of like there, but not. They've checked out, because they're like, I don't know how to deal with this. Like, I'm frozen. I'm frozen because I feel like any which way that I go, it's going to be a major tower moment. It's going to be bad. It's, again, that there's going to be consequences, that the person that's cruel is going to be 1,000 times crueler, which is the feeling. Well, let's actually see again what they're going to do, because right now they're not doing anything. And they're, again, not really planning on doing anything. I mean, they're imagining that they will, but again, no, see, look, stand by. Like, see the word stand by? It's like for the Nine of Wands, it's again waiting, 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 more like procrastinating. Um, and because they're confused and they're stuck. And that's what this card actually says, okay? It's like it says, you have many past achievements, now you feel confused and stuck. Proceeding will allow more success. So again, stuck and stuck. Because this person isn't coming from their true self. They're sitting there and they're waiting. And they're waiting again, okay, I guess for you to do something, or they're waiting for their situation to change. They're waiting for someone aside from them to do something so that they can figure out what to do. That would piss me off. I'm just saying, because it's like, but again, they're weak. They're weak. Why? Because again, yeah, they're Five of Pentacles, that because they're terrified that they are going to be like everything's going to be taken from them. They feel out in the cold. They feel already out in the cold by you because you're not talking to them. So they don't know what they would be moving into, number one. Number two, what consequences is the karmic going to put towards them? So again, they just feel out in the cold where they don't have anybody really around them right now. They feel very alone. People may check up on them, but I don't really feel like they're telling anyone really much about anything because they're embarrassed about their life, because no one wants to be controlled by somebody else. Yeah, Six of Swords, assistance. They're waiting for assistance. Like, and they're going to eventually get assistance, but that's the whole thing that they're waiting on. They're waiting for someone to help them. And I feel like they were also waiting on money and certain, like, possibly a piece of property to open up. Again, waiting for something, again, like assistance to help them get out of their situation. So they're on standby, they're waiting. I feel like a few times they thought that they had like a place to stay, and again, it fell through. Possibly because of money. I feel like the karmic is doing everything to try and keep them separate from you. Again, they don't know that it's you because they don't know, but they know that someone's there, and they are furious. They are furious because it's almost like they thought that they can control and manipulate and scare this person into staying with them. And, your person just like plays like dead, like a limp fish, like I'll be here, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything for you. And so it's pissing the karmic off more and more and more and more and more, because they're not, but your person doesn't want to stay there. They're waiting for things to fall into place. I think that the karmic is catching on though. Hey, wait a minute, you don't really want to be here. Yeah, 10 of Wands, and it's like, again, which is overload. It's like too many obligations, which is again what the karmic is doing. The karmic knows this person wants to get out, so I'm just going to keep on giving you shit. I'm going to just keep on giving you chores. I'm going to keep on, again, cruel, like you're not allowed to have your life. I own your life. That's the that's the energy of the karmic. Like, I own your life. I know someone's there. You're not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to give you time for anything. You're not going to have time to go to the bathroom even. I'm going to be able to account for every minute of everywhere where you are. I'm going to overload you with everything that you're not going to be able to think. You're not going to, and I'm going to be able to account for every time. So this is what's making them hate the karmic even more. So karmic knows, doesn't care. Again, the Hierophant, it's again, there's no healing in this situation. There will be no healing in this situation because it keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. This relationship should have been over a long time ago. Should have been over a long time ago. And I feel like your person was able to get out a few times, and they were thinking to themselves, how did I wind up back in this situation? How? did I wind up in the back in this situation? Yeah, the tower. See, it's again, but that even though things that have collapsed, it's reversed. So it's like they're preventing themselves from moving forward. They're waiting for again for this assistance, and they're waiting for the karmic to do something like almost like the karmic says, be gone with you. It's like then your person I can see running towards you being like, I'm free, like, but it's like they're waiting for the karmic to do it. I think that they think that the consequences will be less. They won't be as bad. That's why they're doing it, but really they're going to be worse. They're going to be worse because the karmic is building up so much anger right now because it's like they realize that they did not win because of love. I feel as if your person played a little too time to the defense, making them believe that they still cared. So there was a little bit of sympathy, but it was only so that they could hold on to their stuff. And now the karmic's saying, well, you're not doing anything here. You're not emotionally here. You're checked out. You don't do anything. You don't want to be here. So I'm going to keep giving you stuff, but they're getting more and more and more and more and more angry. And there's building up more and more and more hate. So if you're not feeling your person, it's because they are in survival mode. They're full of rage right now because again, of what this person is doing to them. They just won't let them go. It's like, okay, you don't want to be with me, let me go. It's like the karmic is like, I don't want to be with you in that way, but I don't want you to be with anyone either. Because there's a sense that I feel like they're still in love with them, but there's been so much betrayal between the two. So what are they going to do with you? Because right now they're paralyzed. They're not moving. It's again, they're waiting for the tower moment. I mean, I'd say take off. It's not even worth it to stick around to be with this person. But, the heart wants what the heart wants. So it's like, how should we heal this situation? How should we deal with this situation? Because it's like, not a good situation at all. Trick. It's again, I feel like they were tricked. And I feel if you still have feelings for them, maybe you should detach again and kind of trick them because if they can still feel you energetically, because remember, like if it's soulmate twin flame, there's a ESP connection through the heart and mind. We can feel when that person's energy is around, how you can't really feel when their energy is around. I feel this person can feel you early in the morning when they first wake up, because karmic isn't around, they don't sleep in the same room, and very late at night. But as far as during the day, you're not feeling them. But I feel like because you're not feeling them, you're trying to tap into them. And so sometimes random times they can still feel you. So you might want to trick this person into thinking that you have left again, because fear, they're living in fear right now. But if they truly love you, the fear of losing you is going to override, and they already feel like they're going to miss out. They already feel that you're going to meet someone before they get their shit together, because they know that they're moving slow and they're not really thinking of your feelings. They're just thinking of theirs, but understand that's because there's a wound. The wound has always been there. You have been placed in their life for that person to work through the wound, because love will do that, but they have to walk through fear first. And they're like, I know I'm going to do it, but I don't know when. So your thing is you should date. Even though you have feelings for this person, you should go out and have a good time. You should trick this person. And it's again, if you have feelings for them, meaning you should detach, because no one can tell you to stay or to leave a person. If you love them, you love them. However, if you go out and interact, this person's going to notice that, they're going to feel that, it's going to scare them more. Not to mention, you'll be able to meet other people too, and notice how they treat you. You know, if they're treating you nicer, you might not want to be with this person. So, you know, and that's what this person knows too. They know that they're not being fair. They know that they haven't been fair. And so you'd have to, again, be like, well, I don't care. I'm moving on, you know, deal. It's again, and then once you again talk to them too, because they are going to eventually talk to you, if you still want to, you need to again compromise, come to like some sort of a deal again where you find what works for both of you, which a lot of times that's what these soul relationships do. It's like we don't really get the person, it's almost like law, like your best day in court, they always say is not your best day because you're never getting 100% what you want. So it's the same thing with a soulmate twin flame. You get what you want in the fact that you get them because they like you. However, what it looks like is not exactly what you want. A lot of times it's a bumpy because it's again activating the things that need to be cleared with inside of you. And part of this is your person has a huge problem communicating. So they are going to need to learn how to again communicate by articulating what works for them, and again being mindful what works for you. They can't just stay in survival mode or stay stuck in treating you bad because their past relationship treating you bad. So one last card for again as a healing message, and these cards are brand new, so they're hard to get apart. Creation, I have the power to direct my life. With a constructive attitude, I create what is best for my soul. I firmly believe I can transform and improve my inner and outer worlds by turning every thought into affirmation action. I act in the image of God and bring light into my life. So this is what I was saying, like they're not doing anything. They're not moving. It's like, yes, so what? They have this deep soul connection to you, you do to them, but they're not doing anything. They're staying with a karmic that they're not happy with. So what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to sit there and wait? No, that could be the worst thing that you could do. And that would make this person move even slower because they could be like, well, I don't have to. The fact that they already think that they're taking too long and they're afraid of losing you, this is saying, go out and create, go out. This is, you have the power to direct your life. So it's again, and with the constructive attitude, and the constructive attitude is, I know what I'm deserving. Just because you're not giving me doesn't mean that I need to, again, stay here. I'm going to put my energy towards creating my life. This is going to put a fire underneath this person's ass to move towards you, to fix things, even if you don't want them back. But you'll at least become the vibration of love. You act in the image of God by, again, God is just unconditional love. And you bring light, which is again, love, other things, other loves into your life that again, you're teaching this person, whether you're with me or not, my life is still good. And usually that's what makes a person realize it's that, and they're going to realize because you will not have the same energy as the karmic. The karmic is forcing something that's not supposed to work anymore. It's something that doesn't work and is probably held together with money and outside things. Again, and the person likes what it looks like from the outside, but no one's happy. They choose to stay in that. Your person doesn't choose to stay in that, but they're weak. And again, that might even resemble, maybe you grew up with a parent that felt stuck. So it's again, you might be reliving this karmic thing. So your thing is not to be influenced by trying to be the fixer or just waiting for that person. It's to feed your own life, because by directing your energy, that indirectly makes that person move, which is what you want. And even if you didn't want it, for those of you that don't want it, you say, well, I want to meet someone else. Well, you will, because you'll become the vibration of love. You become interactive. You're directing your energy to what you want to grow in your life by what you want to become. You could put your energy towards, again, becoming as well as building something, and that's including new relationships. So you will, whether this person comes towards you to ask for forgiveness and you guys work it out, or you just again are able to release that person because you can actually see new opportunities and options, and not just see them, but you're actually getting the emotional connection that you need, that this person is not capable of giving because they're wrapped up in a different relationship, just stuck, expecting that you're going to stay stuck because of the strong karmic and spiritual connection. You have to teach them not. Now, I'm going to ask one last question. If you move, if you, again, are interactive in life, what is the message? Like, if you're interactive in life and you cut your energy from this person, what would be the outcome? Like, with that, because right now they're not moving. Would it change? Could we shape shift this situation? You bring out the best in me. I'm a better partner because of you. I want to cherish you forever. So it's, again, they know this about you, that you would. Life feels empty without you by my side. You were my everything, and I pushed you away. So they're, again, still back and forth. I'm going to do from one more deck just to see, would they do anything? Because right now it's like they're still stuck in fear. They're still stuck in fear. Again, if they even try right now they're not going to, because if they try, there's going to be a lot of conflict. There's going to be a lot of arguments. There's going to be a lot of fights. There's going to be a lot, like, the karmic is on them. This person is actually waiting for the karmic to, like, get so frustrated that they throw them out. And I feel like this has happened before. So as far as now, they're not going to do anything. So they're not going to move any faster due to, like, if you go out and you meet somebody, you're doing that to keep your own energy high. You're right. You're doing that to keep your own, like, well-being, for your own well-being. But eventually, listen, 10 of Swords reversed. They're leaving. They're definitely leaving. And so this is a divine timing situation. They don't know when they're going to leave. They know that they're going to leave. They recognize this type of relationship. They're terrified. But like I said, will they leave automatically on their own? I feel like it's going to, that they want to leave, but it's almost like they want the karmic to do it. And I'm going to leave it there. Now, if you resonated with this, Cancer, please let me know. And if you want to win that reading, remember, don't forget to write the word love in the comment bar, aside from liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And we'll see whether you won. You'll know whether or not I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. That's how you'll know whether I picked you to get the free reading. All right. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.